Happy Friday, it's Jacob here from Tangibly. As y'all may or may not know, I'm a fan of SpaceX and all the great things they're building. One of those things in particular is the SpaceX Starship. On this sprint challenge today, I'd like to see how quickly I can represent SpaceX Starship in Vectorworks. Try to catch me howling at the moon. So I'm going to open up a browser and navigate to the SketchUp 3D warehouse, 3dwarehouse.sketchup.com. Just enter that URL. I'm going to that URL, and the next thing I want to search for is Starship. See how many starships show up on the 3D warehouse. So the SketchUp 3D warehouse, anybody using SketchUp can build a model and upload it to this warehouse. You get a whole variety of items on here. As you see, all types of different starships for all of your space desires. One of those in particular is the SpaceX Starship. So didn't take me long to find that. Looks like it's been downloaded less than a couple hundred times. Let's take a look at it real quick. I'm just going to click on the link there. If I click on the image where it says 3D model, then I can actually preview a 3D model of this object. I'm going to click and drag inside this view, and we see, you know what, this is actually not a bad model. Somebody's gone through the effort to build this. It's got the fins on it, some windows and that kind of thing. This is basic enough. I'm just getting it into my model for a quick representation. Next thing I want to do is download. So I'm going to click on the download button. It looks like I'm not signed in yet, so now I'm going to sign in. Okay, so now on the download button, we can simply click on the download button, and the way that I've learned this through trial and error is to always download a SketchUp model of a year previous than the newest one available. For some reason, not really certain, for some reason, they're usually more stable. So I'm just going to create a new folder. I'm going to call that Starship. And I'll save the SketchUp file. Okay, nice and easy. I've saved it to my desktop, to that project folder. The next thing I want to do is go to the Vectorworks 2020. I have no file open right now, so Command N will open a blank file and we'll say OK. Next thing we want to do is File, Import, and import SketchUp. We're going to navigate to our folder for Starship, find our SketchUp file, and click Open. We're going to take the default settings here, which is to import as a mesh or 3D polygon, and the other options, importing transparency, textures, okay, we'll try that. Create RenderWorks textures for all materials. That sounds good. Be nice if that worked for us. Create a Vectorworks mesh object. That is the most basic object that we should probably create with this information, and we will say OK. It looks like we have a part here in the file, and what I usually do is hit Command 6 to zoom extents. As you notice, this is probably the scale figure that appeared over here, but in top plan we're already seeing that we have this rocket. The next thing we can do is rotate to a 3D view, and we see our Starship is sitting here in Vectorworks Spotlight, ready for the mock-up of the event, a launch event. So there's our sprint. Let's look at the clock, see how much time we spent just getting the Starship into Vectorworks Spotlight. Yes, there's other versions of this Starship model that are probably better iterations, but when you're simply just trying to get an idea across, sometimes just the quickest method will get you to the next milestone. Have fun finding models on the 3D warehouse, bringing them into Vectorworks to inform your designs. Have a great day. Try to catch me howling at the moon.